This is MHB7189. I'm going to show you a demonstration how to make a jerk steak with a rotisserie unit. What I have here is a Angus steak, and I'm using these ingredients. And here are the ingredients. I'm going to show you a close up. Walkerwood, traditional jerk season is a mild. People could go with spicy or, wherever the choice they want. But, my ingredients, I kind of use the garlic. You could get that from either from Sam's Club or Costco's. The Maggi sauce, it's not really needed, but sometimes they add a little flavor. You could get that from any Korean store. And also you could get any seasons that you want to add with it. The browning sauce, any sauce, or any season you want. And also, before you prep the steak, or any meat, or any fish, or any poultry, what I usually do on this, and I always add, a little vinegar. That way, I can kill any impurities off. Don't use a lot. And I kind of use this type of vinegar too. Yeah, so I like double sure, because sometimes when people want to clean a meat or poultry, the best thing to do is use vinegar. That way you will make sure everything is clean. Usually I kind of like thoroughly, clean it very, thoroughly. Make sure I can get all the impurities out of it and then kill all the bacteria. Because sometimes if you don't do this and you just, wash it with water and then prep it out, sometimes the meat will taste kind of raw, and then it gives that off flavor that some people kind of sensitive about. So in my opinion, I always clean it with two type of vinegar, and sometimes you clean it with lemon juice. They always use it with poultry or fish or meat. And actually, you know what? I did forgot about the lemon, because this is a Jamaican thing. Just always use the lemon. So hold on, let me get the lemon for a minute. Yep, gotta use lemon. That's a must. That's a must. To keep everything. Something gotta shake about too. Gotta shake about. So. Sometimes the lemon get that little tangy feeling. So what I'm gonna do is just mix it up. Don't want to leave it too long, so you gotta wash it really quickly. So now I already have seasoned up already washed the steak with the two vinegars and the lemon. I'm gonna wash my hands. Okay, the next step I'm probably gonna end up doing, I'm gonna put some garlic, and always wash hands. Always do these things. What I'm gonna get a spoon, and I'm gonna wash with garlic. No, actually I'm gonna add garlic in it. I'm gonna add this. First, I'll always add this. Always add this, it's always good to have it. So I'm gonna add this here. You know, don't have to put a lot, just put a little. Yeah, you don't want to put too much garlic. You don't go garlic crazy. It'd be bad. So I'm gonna add that to the mix. Yeah, always add garlic first. And you know, you mix it up a little bit. Then I'll add some lemon pepper. Yeah, with seasoning steaks, it's, you know, it's like an art form, because you could do the same thing with chicken, steak, or you know, fish. You know, fish I cook a little different. And I'm gonna mix it up, and then I'm add this the season right here. Why not? You know, any season would do fine. You know, longs. I mean, reason why I didn't add no salt to it, because sometimes you don't really need salt with all these seasons. But one season, you know, already has salt, so you don't have to add no more salt to it. Cause then, you know, then the meat would be tasting kind of salty and like, oh, it's okay, I overkill the salt. And the other season right here. Okay, let me open it. Now, I'll just show you this season again. It don't have to be exact. I mean, you could add on your own different spices and everything. And also, you know, you could add, you know, onions and other garlic, other vegetables to it, you know, unless you put it in the oven. But this time I put it on a rotisserie unit. So I like to add this too. And you can't go and Goya. You know, it's common. And it's mostly in, you know, mostly in the Caribbean and South America. You always use this. You know, different style, but it's good everywhere. In universal. Sometimes you have to mix it up. Always use parsley. You could get it from any place, Giant or anyway. I like to use a lot of parsley. There's a lot. Yeah, I know there's a light problem here. I kind of notice. So let me just put a little close up. There you go. Yeah, much better. I put parsley in. Parsley in. You know, get some season here and there. Next one I can do is do a little mustache. That's salt free. Salt free, you know. Hey, why not? Try to be less sodium as humanly possible. Because there are some ingredients that already have salt, so you don't need to add a lot of salt to it. You know, sometimes you gotta rub that steak. You get a lot of penetrate. Because after all these seasons, you gotta allow the steak to marinate. And the FDA say, you know, possibility you can marinate a steak for 1 day, 24 hours or 12 hours or 24 hours. In my opinion, you know, you could, you know, and for chicken, you can marinate it for 2 days if you want to. You know, you can marinate overnight. You can marinate it for 2 days. From some steaks, you could do like for an hour or 2 hours or so. You know, then you get that good, you know, jerk season on it. So now I'm gonna add this. And I need a spoon. Where's So I'm just going to hold on for a moment. And let me grab a spoon. Yeah. Why not? Grab a spoon. Wash my hands first. Always wash hands, you know. Good thing. And wipe it with the towel. Now I'm gonna use this jerk season. Just, you know, don't have to use a lot. Use too much, you know, might get too spicy for some people. Even if it's mild, believe it or not. And if you put mild or spicy, the longer it marinated, the more, you know, season will get. If you put a hot jerk season and you leave it over 2 hours or overnight, believe it or not, it will be, you'll get the authentic, actually authentic jerk season's taste. But, you know, for an hour or two, for an hour, you know, or 2 hours is good enough. For, you know, for chicken, I think for steak it's usually around, probably around like 30 minutes to an hour, but hour is always good. That way, you still get the good taste on it. And, you know, some people like to cook the steak well done. To be honest with you, if you try to cook the steak well done, it's not going to taste like you want to. So sometimes you definitely got to rub this chicken in. Got to mix it up. You definitely need to rub this in thoroughly. And one thing I do like to add is this Maggi sauce. You can get this from any Korean store or any Asian store. And this thing got some sodium in it, so I'm probably going to use a little bit. Just a tad. But technically, you don't need to use Maggi sauce. You could do without it. But Maggi sauce, believe it or not, is great with a lot of fish, shrimp. And believe me, it does get that wild taste. You can't go wrong on it. But this different type of sauce. This one is imported from Germany, from Europe. But they do have the Asian ones, like from China or different part of China. I think they're kind of knockoff version of that. And I know some friends bought similar season to it, and their result was not that part. You know, they was not really satisfied with the taste of it, and it was kind of disappointed. Well, you know what? I'm gonna skip one season. This browning season. Usually you could go for like chicken, you know, look for upholstery. You could put it on steak or anything, but I'll probably put a little bit on it, but it really not needed, in my opinion. You know, for steak. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's really not needed. Really not needed at all. Just a little bit, yeah. It's really not needed for steak. For chicken, yes. Anything for upholstery, yes. You do need that. And it's give it that dark flavor. Give that good, unique dark flavor. So now I'm done with the seasoning on it. I'm just going to mix around, you know, because then from there, you know, make sure everything is so good. Usually, some people, they want to reuse the same. And actually, what I done is, when I bought this, when I got this steak from Sam's Club, it was coming in a big pack, and I kind of broke it down into freezer bags, you know, preserve it, you know, last longer. And since I throw it out, I'm not going to reuse the same bag, but you know, I'm kind of like cleaning this that way. I kind of throw away the other bag and get a new one. Some people say like this, hey, reuse the same bag. Nah, not me. I'm just going to use a different bag. You know, feel better that way, you know, feel more health conscious that way. So I'm going to just use a new freezer bag. And what you do is, you could use this pan, put a lid on it. You know, you could use the pan, you know, put a lid on it, or put a oh, you know what? I totally forgot. You could have several options of this. You could use a bag, you know, a freezer bag to marinate it, or use a plastic wrap. So it depends on how big the plastic wrap. Unfortunately, this plastic wrap is too small for this one, so it's going to be too much of a trouble. So as always, get the plastic wrap that's bigger than the than the steel bowl. This is I wish I could use this, but I'm going to use the zip bag. It's easier that way, and I just have to do it that way. It's better, you know, because I find out it's better that way, because you can put the meat for marination in the fridge at any location in the fridge, as long as it's in a zip tie. And what I do is I'm gonna just put and just raise it up, pull it back. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull this back. And so I'm gonna pull this back, put this meat in here, put that meat in here. And what I always do this, I put the season in it, so you get that, you know, so to get the best season out of it. So let me do a close up. Let me put this thing closer, so everybody would know. So I'm gonna put this thing real close. As always, add the season. There's the reason why. Let me put this back further. Raises up. Yeah, see right there? Yep. Always put the season in. Always put the season in. Now, since the seasons is in the bag, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this bag up and try to force all the air out. It's always good to force all the air out of the bag. That way, you know, I want to clean this up. Clean this side. Clean this other side. Always, you know, lock the bag. Try to squeeze all the air out. You know, lock the bag, squeeze all the air out much as you can. Yeah, just try to squeeze all that junk out. And try to, you know, mix it up a little bit. And next thing you do, you put this in the fridge. And I will put this in the fridge and let it marinate it for about at least an hour. And that's it. And the next part I'm going to put it in, I'm going to put this steak in this rotisserie unit. That's be the next part of it. So I will get back to you later on that.